Hey guys, Mr. BXRP here, and welcome back. The crypto market is a sea of red out there today. I hear a lot of people talking about Casino Coin, which I personally did not hold, but I hear it's up nearly 40% in the last 24 hours at the time I'm making this video. I don't know much about the project, but other people seem pretty excited about it. So they're celebrating, but for the most part, the market looks really down today. It has been an interesting week, though, for Ripple and XRP news, as usual. But as we also know, the news has absolutely no effect on the price. But what I like to say is, look, stay focused on the progress and the building. And the building's the most important part. And speaking of building, we had a big announcement this week by Spring. And essentially, Ripple's Spring was expanding Ripple's developer platform with new tools for developers to make it easier to build on the XRP ledger and the interledger protocol, the ILP, which is fantastic. Ethan Beard is the head of Spring, and here's what he had to say specifically about it. He said, "We launched Spring over a year ago to support Ripple's vision of enabling the Internet of Value by supporting the community of developers building with XRP. Through our work with partners, students, and developers, it became clear that while there's a lot of enthusiasm and interest in the space, there is still a high barrier for entry when it comes to building with blockchain and digital assets. To support the growth and development of the XRP ecosystem, we announced the next chapter for Spring, an open developer platform that is designed to remove the pain of integrating money into apps for 23 million developers worldwide." If you want to read the entire announcement by Ethan Beard, you can check him out on Twitter he's at Ethan Beard. What I think is the best way to look at Spring for those that maybe don't fully understand what they're doing. Spring, they support individual companies and developers in building additional consumer-facing use cases of the XRP ledger and the ILP. So that's the best way to look at it. While Ripple is out there building use cases with financial institutions, the people at Spring are supporting people who are building with the consumer-facing use cases. So completely different worlds, but it's an additional pillar of the use case of XRP, which is the most important thing, is building the additional pillars of use. There used to be a commercial on TV when I was a kid, and they used to say, "When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen." And back then, E.F. Hutton was an investment company, and I don't think anybody's listening to them anymore because I don't think they're still in business. But I can tell you, when it comes to Ripple and XRP, when David Schwartz talks, people listen. And David was out on Twitter today speaking about the birth of the XRP ledger. He did a 6-part tweet, and here it goes. I wanted to read it to you. It's pretty quick. There have been some questions floating around about the origins of the XRP ledger and when XRP was created. Let me help clear those up. I worked with Arthur Brito and Jeb McCaleb starting in late 2011. We co-created the XRP ledger. Here's my first code commit on November 2011, and he has a link to it. And then he goes on to say, here's Arthur's code that he created the 100 billion XRP, then called XNS, on June 2nd of 2012, the birth date of XRP. Yes, this shows a code push that was obviously used, GitHub history that shows how many times we contributed and executed every day. By June of 2012, the XRP ledger was live and transacting. We were still madly squashing bugs as those were the early days. The rest of the ledger sequence multiplied times for binary format changes. The transactional history was erased. This does not mean 100 billion XRP was recreated each time. And then he goes on to say, who's up? The XRP ledger version that we know and love today began December of 2012. Unfortunately, the first week's worth of data, and that's ledgers 1 through ledgers 32,570, is lost, but there are people that are researching for it. And then he goes on in his last tweet to say, today, over 50,000 ledgers have been confirmed, and XRP is traded on 130 plus exchanges, onwards and upwards. It's always great when David can clarify things for us on Twitter, and having his access is priceless. So it's fantastic that he gets out there and interacts with the XRP community. Ripple also had an official release this week, and it was Ripple's Blockchain and Payments Report 2019, where they talked about the flywheel set in motion. There have been some theories already put out on this so-called flywheel and how it will work and how it may affect the price of XRP. But what I think would be great is if at some point, if Ripple put out some sort of an explanation, and in fact, you know who'd be perfect to do it is Ashish Burla once did a whiteboard presentation and did a fantastic job. And boy, would it be great if we could see him do one of those in the future, explaining the flywheel and also how that works as well. Also in other news, Christine Lagarde was out there in the public today, and she is the president of the European Central Bank, and she spent some time today in front of the camera talking about the advantages of real-time digital payments. There is an excellent video available for this, and what I would suggest you do, it's a short video, you want to see this one, is you should go to Twitter and you need to follow Mike Jansen, and he's at Colts Stadium PA. Follow Mike and you can see the video. Otherwise, I retweeted it, so you can also see it on my Twitter as well. That is all for today, folks. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a crypto expert, and I am not a stonemason. Don't make any financial decisions based on anything I say, and consider this video for entertainment purposes only. Please like and subscribe and share with anybody you think who might do the same. And you can also follow me on Twitter at XRPMister. Thank you so much and have a fantastic day.